Hi, and welcome to this heart opener yoga flow. So today we're gonna work to really open the front side of the body. So we're gonna work into some back bends and stretch out the abdominal muscles. We're gonna start today on our knees. So bring your knees just as wide as your hips. And then from here, you're actually gonna tuck your toes under, behind you. And then on our inhale, we're gonna take the right hand back and reach the left arm up. So opening the heart. Reach the left arm up and back. Maybe look behind you. Exhale, take everything back in towards the center, bend your knees. Inhale, take the left hand back, reach the right arm up and over. Exhale, take it back. We're gonna do this 2 more times on each side. So take the right arm back, reach the left arm up. On your inhale, on your exhale, you take everything back in towards the center. Bring your left hand behind you, reach your right arm up on your inhale. Exhale, take it back. Again, inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, take it back. Last one, inhale, right arm up, reach it up and behind you. And exhale, take it back in towards the center. Now you're gonna come back up into your knees. And we'll start by taking the right leg out. And then flex your toes towards your face. So your right heel is down onto the mat. From here, you plant the right arm on your thigh or your shin, wherever you can reach. Then reach the left arm up and create space in the left side body. On your exhale, you tilt over towards the right. So reach the left arm up and over your ear. Try and straighten the left arm. Last inhale here. And then on the exhale, you take the left hand down and you walk both hands forward and you plant your right foot down into the mat. So walk your arms forward, reach the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here, exhale, fold a little deeper. One more. Inhale, come halfway up into your fingertips and exhale, fold. Now on your inhale, you take everything back in towards the center. Take your right knee back. We'll do the same thing on the left side. So take out your left leg. Flex your toes towards your face. Just bring the heel down into the mat. Then you take your arm and you bring it on your thigh or your shin, wherever you can reach. Now on your inhale, you take your right arm up and you create length in the right side body. On the exhale, you tilt over towards the left. And try and create space between the ribs on the left side. Straighten out the arm. Try and feel it from the hip all the way to your pinky toe. We'll take one more full breath here. And then on the exhale, you take your right arm down and you walk everything forward. So walk your hands forward. Plant your left foot down into the mat. Reach the sitting bones up. On your inhale, you come halfway up. On the exhale, you fold. 2 more times like this. On the inhale, we come halfway up. On the exhale, we fold. Last one. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, fold. Now on your inhale, you take your hands back towards your knees. Bend your left knee again. And then we'll come into a tabletop position. So bring your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Push the tops of the feet down into the mat. Reach long from the crown of the head all the way towards your sitting bones, your tailbone. Now from here, we're gonna move into some cat-cows. So on our inhale, we reach the chest down and forward. Arch the back, look up. On the exhale, we tuck the tailbone in and we round the back. Look towards your belly button. Inhale, arch the back, cow. And exhale, round the spine, cat. So think of reaching with the heart. On your inhale, you go down and forward and up. Reaching the heart forward, creating space. On the exhale, you reach the back of the heart towards the ceiling, pushing your arms down into the mat. Just 2 more rounds. On your inhale, you arch your back, you look up. On your exhale, you round, you tuck the tailbone in. Let your head hang, your neck relax. Look towards your belly button. Then our last one, inhale, reach up. And arch the back. Exhale, we round the spine and let the head hang. Push the tops of the feet down into the mat. Now on our inhale, we come back to neutral. And then from here, we're going to tuck the toes under. Make sure the knees and hips stay in one line. And from here, you're going to walk your arms out. So we'll come into puppy pose. Reach the sitting bones up and reach the chest towards the mat. Now, you might be able to bring your forehead down towards the mat, or you might not. That's fine too. Just reach the chest towards the mat, your forehead towards the mat. If it's easy to place your forehead down into the mat, maybe you can bring your chin down towards the mat as well. And keep engaging the belly here. So with every exhale, you tuck your belly in towards your spine. Just breathe. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Then on your next inhale, you look towards your hands and you walk your hands back towards your knees. Now from here, we untuck the toes and we grab the heels with the hands. Now we're really going to round the spine. So we're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest and just roll forward with a round spine, bringing first the forehead down onto the mat and then rolling over your head towards the crown of the head, taking the hips up with you. Coming into our rabbit variation. Keep holding on to the heels and keep tucking the belly in with every exhale. Feel that stretch on the back of your neck, maybe all the way down into the shoulder blades. Take 1 more full breath here in this pose. And then slowly release everything back. So come and sit back down onto the heels. Then walk your hands forward a little more and we'll come up into our downward facing dog. So spread the fingers wide, tuck your toes under and reach the sitting bones up. Now you place your hands shoulder width, your feet are going to be hip width and you reach the sitting bones up. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and you engage the arms, pushing the muscles of the hands down into the mat. Now from here on our inhale, we tuck the chin in towards the chest. We round through the back and we roll all the way forward into our plank. Then from our plank, we're going to reach the chest forward and come into an upward dog, but we keep the toes tucked under. So we push the chest forward and we look up into our upward facing dog. Now from here on our exhale, we bend the knees and reach the hips back up. Come back into your downward facing dog. So we're going to move through this sequence a couple of times, really warming up the spine. So on our inhale, we bring the chin in towards the chest, round the back, come forward into your plank. So shoulders over wrists. And then we move forward into our upward facing dog. So pushing the chest between the triceps, the biceps, and pushing the chest up, opening the heart. exhale, bend the knees, reach the sitting bones back up. Downward facing dog. 3 more like this. On our inhale, we roll forward all the way into our upper dog. Keep the toes tucked under. And exhale, come back into downward facing dog. 2 more times like this. Inhale, roll forward. Push the chest up, open the heart. Exhale, reach the sitting bones back up, downward facing dog. Last one. On our inhale, we tuck the chin in towards the chest, roll forward. Open the heart, upper dog. And exhale, reach the sitting bones back up, downward facing dog. Now from our down dog, on our inhale, we roll forward. Come into a plank. Reach the sitting bones back. Reach the heels back. Spread the fingers. Staying here for 1 more breath. And then on our exhale, we bend the elbows and we come and lay all the way down. So belly is down into the mat. And just take your forehead or your chin down into the mat. And then plant your hands behind your hips. You're going to bring the toes together. On our inhale, we roll the shoulders away from the ears and we bring our chest up. So the fingertips stay down onto the mat, the feet stay down onto the mat. We engage the muscles in the back of our body. And you don't have to come up really high, just take your shoulders and a bit of your collarbones away from the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, roll back down. Bring your forehead back down into the mat. Relax your shoulders, relax your legs. Just 1 breath here. Then we're gonna add the legs to it. So we're keeping the toes together, the heels together. First on our inhale, we keep the legs straight and we take the feet off the mat. So we're really engaging the muscles in the legs here. Now on our inhale, we roll the shoulders away from the ears and we take the chest up, keeping the fingertips down into the mat. Keep pushing the tops of the hands down into the mat. Breathe here, keep breathing. Last inhale here. Exhale, take everything back down. Bringing the forehead down, just relax here. Now for our next one, we're gonna add the arms to it as well. So we'll come into a locust pose. So you can choose your variation. You can either interlace the fingers behind your back, or you just take your arms up shoulder width. I'm gonna go with the interlaced version. So I'll first interlace my fingers behind the back, roll the shoulders away from the ears, bring the big toes together, engage the muscles in the legs. On our inhale, we reach the heels up, we reach the legs up. Try and keep your legs straight. On your next inhale, you roll your shoulders away from your ears and you bring your chest up. Opening here. Opening the heart forward and up. Keep breathing through the nose. 2 more breaths here. And then exhale, slowly release. Now you're going to take your hands, your fingers towards the outside of your shoulder. So your fingers are going to be on shoulder width, just a little bit wider than your shoulder. So you take your elbows up and we're just going to open the shoulders here a little more. So on our inhale, we roll the shoulders away from the ears, push your fingertips down into the mat and just come up, bring your chest up. Now from here, we're gonna roll the right shoulder. So just take some circles with the right shoulder. And then exhale, release, come back down. Doing the same thing on the left side. So on our inhale, we roll up. And then we're gonna roll the left shoulder out. One side might be more open than the other. Last one. And then release everything back down into the mat. Now take your hands behind your hips or next to your hips again. Now from here, we're gonna see if we can come into bow pose. So we're gonna bend the knees and then take your knees as wide as your hips, but don't take them wider. Then we're gonna grab the feet, or actually the ankles, and you're gonna take the thumb towards the other side of the other fingers. So make sure you grab the ankles and not the feet, because you have a firmer grip. So grab both ankles. Keep your knees in close, so not wider than your hips. Then we're gonna push the thighs into the mat. So we'll do two variations. First, we're gonna push the thighs into the hips. Into the mat, sorry. Thighs into the mat. On our inhale, we roll the shoulders away from the ears, flex your feet and push your thighs in towards the mat. So your chest comes up. We reach the heart forward and up. Bring the shoulder blades together. Push the thighs down into the mat. Keep flexing your toes. Last inhale here. And exhale, release everything. Just stretch your legs out and just maybe roll your ankles side to side. Relaxing everything. Then for our last one, we're gonna push the feet down into the hands. So this time we're gonna grab the feet, bend your knees, grab your feet with both hands. Again, we're gonna roll the shoulders away from the ears and we're gonna push the feet down into the hands. So we're reaching the legs up. So don't push your thighs down into the mat, but really reach the legs up and push the feet into the hands. On our inhale, we roll the shoulders away from the ears and then start pushing the feet into the hands. And maybe you start rocking on your belly. Reach the feet up. Keep opening the shoulders, opening the chest. Take 2 more breaths here. See if you can reach the legs up a little higher. Last inhale here. And exhale, slowly release everything back down. Bring your feet back down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. On our inhale, we tuck the toes under and we push ourselves back up into a plank, reaching the heels back. Exhale, bring your knees down and come and sit on your heels. So now that we warmed up the muscles in the back, we're actually gonna come into some deeper back bends. Just know that you shouldn't feel any pain. So if you start feeling pinching in your back, just go back and take it a little easier. You should actually, with back bends, you should start feeling space created in the back. So we're engaging the front muscles, but we're also stretching them. But we don't want to feel any pain. So we'll work into camel pose. And I'll start with giving you a variation that's like an easier variation. And if you feel like this is enough, just stay here. It's fine. You will finally work up towards your camel pose. But if you stay with the first version, just know that's what your body needs at this moment. You don't need anything else. So we'll come back into our knees. Knees are under the hips. We actually want to push the feet down into the mat. We want to imagine that there is a big wall in front of us and we're pushing the thighs into that wall. So we keep the legs engaged. Then from here, we want to keep as much contact with that imaginary wall as possible. So we try and reach the belly towards that wall as well. Then from here, we open the hips. And first, you're going to bring your hands as if you're putting them in your back pocket. So bring the elbows close together, shoulder blades together, opening the shoulders, the front side, the collarbones. Now on our inhale, we reach the chest up. And then on the exhale, we start reaching back. Maybe look towards the ceiling. Maybe look behind you. And try and create space in the chest and the lower back. Keep pushing the thighs towards that imaginary wall. Take one more inhale here. And exhale. Take everything back in towards the center. So now you get some idea of where you're going with this camel pose. If this was already really challenging, just stay here. If you want to join me for full camel, then we're gonna go for camel pose. So again, knees don't go wider than the hips. Push your thighs into that imaginary wall. Start with your hands on your lower back, like as if you're putting them into pockets. You really want to create space, so an upward current from your belly button, opening in the heart, so the collarbone area. On your inhale, you create that space. On the exhale, you lean back. Now again, you can stay here, but if you want more, maybe you can bring the right hand onto the right heel, and then the left hand onto the left heel. And again, keep pushing the chest forward, reaching the heart up towards the ceiling, but first create space from the belly. With every inhale, we push more up. With every exhale, we bend back a little more. 2 more breaths here in our camel. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Last breath here. Then slowly take your left hand back on your lower back and then your right hand and come all the way back up. And just sit down on your heels. Relax a little bit. Feel what that pose did to your body. And then from here, we'll just relax in child's pose. So we're gonna take the big toes together, the knees as wide as your mat, and just walk your hands out in front of you. So we're creating space between the vertebrae. Bring the forehead down towards the mat. Crawl your fingertips forward and just release here. Relax into your body. Take deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Resetting the spine. Bring that length back into our body. And slowly on your inhale, you look towards your hands again and you walk your hands back towards your knees. We're gonna do one more back bend, and for this one, we're gonna lay down onto our backs. So come and lay all the way down onto your mat. Keep your knees bent and your feet are planted into the mat. And first just take your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees fall in. This is a really good resting pose for the lower back, because now the lower back is all the way down into the mat and you create some space in the lower back. So we're not contracting the lower back, but we're creating space. The next poses we're going to do are bridge and wheel. And for these poses, we're going to take the feet hips distance. And these poses are actually designed to create space in your lower back as well. We're going to plant the hands right next to the hips. And we're pushing the muscles of the hands down into the mat. Now check and make sure your knees don't go wider than your hips. Then on your inhale, you're gonna reach your hips up towards the ceiling and imagine as if you're pulling your shins in front, so towards the back of your mat. Then reach your chin up towards the ceiling and see if you can create more space for the lower back. So we're engaging the glutes, the muscles underneath the butt. Reach the chin up. Take one more breath in here. And exhale, roll everything back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take your feet as wide as the mat and just let your knees fall in towards the side again. We'll do this 2 more times and I'll add a little bit to it each time. So this first version can be enough for you. This version of bridge, you just keep doing this 2 more times. If you want more, just join me. Bring your feet together, hips distance again. Knees are hips distance. Plant your hands down into the mat. On your inhale, you reach your hips up, pulling the shins towards the back of the mat, creating space. Now from here, you can interlace your fingers underneath your back. And then we push the chest up a little more. Create some more space, reach the chin up towards the ceiling. Taking 2 more breaths here in our bridge and see if you can feel that release in the lower back. There's no tension in the lower back. Now if you had your hands interlaced, just slowly take them apart again, and on your exhale you roll back vertebrae by vertebrae. Take your feet out as wide as the mat and just let your knees fall in towards each other. Okay, our last variation is full wheel pose. You can always stick with one of the previous versions if you think wheel is not available for you today. Just listen to your body. Okay, bring your feet hips distance again. Knees hips distance. Plant your hands down into the mat. And this time actually we're gonna take the hands and we're gonna place the hands behind the shoulders. So the fingertips are gonna face the shoulders. The elbows go out a little bit. Now on our next inhale, we push the hips up, we reach the chins forward, create that space in your lower back. Then on our next inhale, we plant the hands down into the mat and we put the crown of the head onto the mat. Now from here, just bring your elbows shoulder width. Plant your hands and see if on your inhale you can push yourself up into a full wheel. Again, make sure that your knees don't track out towards the side. We want to keep that release in the lower back. Push your chest towards your arms and maybe look towards your fingers. So this is really going to create space between the ribs, in the heart. Keep pushing the feet down into the mat, staying here. For 2 more breaths, reach the chest forward, spread your fingers, engage your arms, knees don't track out. Last inhale here, and then on our exhale we bend the elbows. First we bring the crown of the head back down onto the mat, walk your feet forward a little bit, and then roll back onto your back, vertebrae by vertebrae. Again, take your feet out as wide as the mat and let your knees fall in. Now from here, you're gonna bring your soles of your feet together and just reach for the ankles. Let the knees fall out towards the side. And maybe you wanna rock a little back and forward onto your back. Now plant your feet back down. Take your feet as wide as the mat again and just let your knees fall towards the left side and then take them towards the right. Windshield wiper your legs. Just take some easy twists to reset your back, to reset your body. Then you take your feet back in, you cross your ankles, you grab your feet, and you just rock and roll over your back a couple of times, massaging the back. Just go here a couple of times. And then slowly take everything back up. Come and sit in the center of your mat. Cross-legged or any variation that feels good in your body, as long as you can sit up tall. Feel your sitting bones down into the mat. Reach the crown of the head up. Open the shoulders. Close your eyes and bring your hands in front of your heart. Then we're gonna rub the palms together, create some heat, some energy. Once you've created that heat, you open the palms and you cover your eyes and you soak up the energy you just created. And slowly bring your hands back together in front of your heart and very gently open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining my class today, opening our heart. I hope you feel more open, more loving, and always make sure to give some love to yourself. Thank you. Namaste.